13 Action News presents the Las Vegas Black Image Magazine Honors 2021. Sponsored by Findlay Toyota. We are here for you.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Trisha Keene. Tonight, in partnership with Las Vegas Black Image Magazine, we celebrate Black History Month with the Las Vegas Black Image Honors 2021. For the next 30 minutes, we will introduce you to leaders in our valley, as well as business owners and entrepreneurs who make a difference in our community and beyond. We'll also speak with the creators of Las Vegas Black Image Magazine, Kimberly Bailey Tyrell and Charles Tyrell, to look at the impact made by the monthly publication, as well as their yearly event, The Tastes and Sounds of Soul, which unfortunately is going digital this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but will look to return next year. Las Vegas Black Image Magazine is the go-to publication here in Southern Nevada that celebrates Black life and entertainment in our community. The magazine showcases the African-American lifestyle through a broad and diverse lens.
The loss we carry, a sea we must wade.
She is a young poet, Amanda Gorman, who captured hearts and inspired hope at President Biden's inauguration this past January. Gorman is featured on the cover of the latest edition of Las Vegas Black Image Magazine.
Let's talk about the responsibility of our youth going forward from what these ancestors and forefathers have handed down to us. And no one could represent that better than Amanda Gorman as a young woman giving that wonderful poem at the inauguration.
So this month's theme is celebrating generations of family and what they've handed down. Magazine owner Kimberly Bailey Tyrell comes by that rightfully. Her father, the late Bob Bailey, was a well-known civil rights leader, TV broadcaster, and a presidential appointee who instilled in her the value of hard work, which it takes to put this publication together with a talented staff of contributors.
It really is just a positive representation of African Americans doing progressive things. And it's like somebody could describe us as a vitamin. They said it's like a little vitamin that just gives you a little oomph and gives you a little happiness because it gives you a little hope.
Las Vegas Black Image Magazine is a free monthly publication, which is delivered with the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Its first issue featured Barack Obama's historic win, which Kimberly predicted.
I remember we put out our cover, Obama winning before Obama won, and we were the only print publication out there with Obama on the cover.
We saw that how people reacted to the Obama election and his family, and how his family represented excellence. We knew that it was very common for many African-American families to want the best for their kids and actually aspire and put the work in.
13 years later, and with a lot of hard work, Las Vegas Black Image Magazine is still going strong, featuring those in our African-American community paving the way and showing no signs of slowing down. For 13 Action News, I'm Trisha Keene.
Some people make a big impact and expect absolutely no recognition in return. One of those people lives right here in Las Vegas. In honor of Black History Month, Las Vegas Black Image Magazine is honoring local heroes in our community. Today, we introduce you to Tiffany McNeely.
I'm so excited. Tiffany McNeely, we're here to honor you for all that you have done in the Valley, especially during COVID-19. You were able to actually raise funds and help people pay their rent, and that was so commendable.
Tiffany McNeely, a property manager and community health and wellness activist, decided that something needed to be done. People were getting displaced from their homes and didn't know what to do during the pandemic.
I knew that I needed to act fast and really come up with a plan to help them in their situation. So I started to reach out to elected officials, other community leaders and programs, and everybody kind of band together with my Facebook video that I posted. It's a little emotional. I definitely just felt the pain, that everyone was experiencing through COVID. And with that, I raised about $65,000 within a matter of a couple weeks.
Without Tiffany and her team's help, 26 children would have been locked out, along with 18 families. She was also able to count on personal donors and nonprofits to help with her efforts.
Residents were so grateful and they were so happy. A lot of them just couldn't believe that this was happening, and I'm so happy that me and my team could be there to do that. And now I think it's really about education and really helping people find the resources that they need.
McNeely's work has not stopped. She has hosted workshops to help people find resources they need. Her next goal, running for public office in the near future. One word of advice for anyone doubting themselves.
Just understanding that it takes one person and one action to create a movement, and not to be scared to step out, do things in fear, and that's exactly what I did.
Bree Guy, 13 Action News. Las Vegas Black Image Magazine is honoring Tyrell University for continuing to advocate for and establish a more diverse student body. Shelley Berkeley is the CEO and Senior Provost for Tyrell University Western Division. She is the administrative and academic head for the Nevada and Northern California campuses. Prior to her work with Tyrell, she was a practicing attorney and served the state of Nevada in the United States House of Representatives. She was the first woman to serve the district and held the position for 7 terms.
We have worked very hard to include everybody, to be inclusive and to diversify our student body, because it's our belief that the next generation of healthcare providers, not only in Nevada but throughout the United States, should look like the patients that they're treating.
Berkeley says she cannot express how significant this honor is.
Really appreciate you.
Well, on behalf of Tyrell University, Nevada, I cannot thank you and Charles enough.
Bree Guy, 13 Action News.
We'll be right back.
You're watching a 13 Action News special, the Las Vegas Black Image Magazine Honors 2021, sponsored by Findlay Toyota. We are here for you.
For more of our Black History Month coverage, visit ktnv.com/Black History Month to check out Las Vegas Black Image Magazine, as well as see this year's virtual edition of the Tastes and Sounds of Soul. Go to LasVegasBlackImage.com.
In honor of Black History Month, we are recognizing all of the amazing things the Black community has going on across Las Vegas. One of those things is the online Black-owned directory created by Devin Moore to showcase Black businesses that you can support, like this one, Sugar Daddy Cigar Lounge. It all started 2 years ago when co-founders Jeffrey Owens and Stephanie Thomas reached out to Devin Moore. He's the founder of the marketing company Go Urban Las Vegas. Fast forward to September of 2020, we have Sugar Daddy Cigar Lounge, owned by the same people who run Sugar Daddy's Cafe a few doors down. Now, where can you find other Black-owned businesses? Check out the Go Urban Las Vegas social media pages to get a list of Black-owned businesses across the valley.
People want to support Black-owned businesses. They have a desire to.
The directory was created in 2019, but its value increased even more in 2020.
One of the things that we found was there was a large support during the summer of unrest, if you will, where there were a lot of protests. We found that a lot of non-Black people, if you will, in the community wanted to support Black businesses too. And we thought that was critical for, one, just a display of support, two, to be able to experience our businesses to say, hey, we're no different than anyone else.
Moore says consumers often compare big business corporations with Black-owned businesses. That is where Go Urban Las Vegas steps in. The company helps train and prepare Black-owned businesses to compete in the market and grow.
The number one value that we find is that convenience is so important. People want to spend where it's convenient, where there's a good product or service, and the price is right.
Black-owned businesses have had to overcome systematic challenges for hundreds of years. Moore says the pandemic has made starting and maintaining these businesses even more difficult.
Nationally, we have lost the most amount of businesses versus any other ethnic group. Obviously, that's because we were always underfunded from the get-go. Shop local, we say it, and a lot of times Black businesses get overlooked.
However, Moore has hope for the future.
Just really encourage the city to get out of their comfort zone, find some non-major companies, shop local, spend some dollars within the Black business community as well.
Fred James, along with the Las Vegas Clark County Library District, has continued to expand on the resources made available to minority communities.
The more you know about your history, the more you know about yourself.
Fred James has played an integral role in providing resources in the library for minority students. Each Las Vegas Clark County Library location is designed around the demographics of that neighborhood. Growing up in Jim Crow, Texas, he could not go to the main library. After the integration of schools, he saw the drastic difference in the quality of the materials offered to white students versus the African American students.
Benjamin Banneker was the first book I saw. They actually had it in the library. It was the first book I ever read about an African American who had done something very successful that I had never heard of. I had an opportunity to be able to understand there's a lot of research and there's a lot of history that it can be located in the library.
There are 4 different sites for Black history research in the library.
We'd like to honor you for all the great work the library has done on behalf of this community.
COVID-19 hit the world like a ton of bricks, and no one anticipated that it would continue into 2021. We have lost a lot, but we couldn't have gotten this far without our frontline workers. Today, we recognize and honor the National Black Nurses Association of Southern Nevada for all of the hard work they do, not just in this past year, but in the past, present, and future. The National Black Nurse Association was founded in 1971 and represents about 200,000 Black nurses across the U.S., Canada, the Caribbean, and Africa. Angela Brock is on the board of the Southern Nevada chapter. As news of a vaccine began to spread, the Black community expressed hesitancy given the history of treatment of Black people in relation to health care. Brock says it's important for minorities to ask questions to anyone in the field if they have concerns.
You can't make change unless you start within. So the reason that I went and got the Moderna vaccination was because I did notice that there was a lot of hesitancy. I understand 100%. I actually was hesitant myself. That's what we're here for. We're here to advocate and educate. And as nurses, that's our front line. That's what we do all day.
For this action and more, the National Black Nurses Association of Southern Nevada is being recognized for their work to inspire African Americans in Southern Nevada and beyond as they continue to encourage more Black people to not only trust in medicine, but search for jobs in the field.
We thank you so much for the service that your organization has provided our wonderful state.
Bree Guy, 13 Action News.
We'll be right back.
You're watching a 13 Action News special, the Las Vegas Black Image Magazine Honors 2021, sponsored by Finley Toyota. We are here for you.
For more of our Black History Month coverage, visit ktnv.com/Black History Month to check out Las Vegas Black Image Magazine, as well as see this year's virtual edition of the Tastes and Sounds of Soul. Go to LasVegasBlackImage.com. The Tastes and Sounds of Soul started 20 years ago as a local Las Vegas festival and quickly grew into a nationally known event where thousands flock from all over to Las Vegas for amazing soul food and music. And while this year's event has gone digital, 13 Action News gives you a look back at our sponsorship with this amazing festival that started in 2001.
This is the Tastes and Sounds of Soul. If you listen, you can hear the sounds of soul and smell the tastes of soul everywhere. Vendors like Mario's Westside Market is one of the 40 local restaurants serving up its home-style cooking underneath this tent on Fremont Street in downtown Las Vegas. But so is California-based business All Seasons Barbecue.
We have tri-tip, pulled pork, baby back ribs, pork spare ribs. We have hot links, turkey legs, mac and cheese, collard greens.
Charles and Kimberly Bailey Tureau are the brains behind the mega festival that started as an annual anniversary celebration for the owner of the Fitzgerald Hotel, the first Black-owned hotel in downtown, which today is the D Hotel.
I said, well, let's call it the Taste and Sounds of Soul. Every year we have businesses out there for Black History Month. People come out, they could buy food, they buy gifts, and that's really how it came to be.
The Taste and Sounds of Soul is a multicultural celebration that Channel 13 became a proud sponsor of from the get-go. And 20 years later, we are still going strong.
So because Channel 13 has volunteered their services to actually promote the event for Black History Month, we ended up getting almost 30,000. I mean, the crowds were massive downtown. And we like to really thank Channel 13 for that, because I think it added to the diversity of the downtown area, part of that whole revitalization project.
The entertainers volunteer their time on stage. Along with music and food, there's also good shopping. Vendors come from all over the U.S. In fact, the Taste and Sounds of Soul organizers were on a mission early on to make this a premier event.
We knew that we had to go big. So what we did was we publicized and we went into other states and we recruited the best of each state. So the event has grown from having not just our local best, but the best of other states to come into Vegas.
In 2006, the organizers ran into roadblocks and weren't awarded a contract downtown. That's until Contact 13 stepped in on behalf of this multicultural event.
If it wasn't for the journalism of Channel 13 taking the lead, we would have never been back on Fremont Street.
Another part of the festival on Fremont is the award ceremony, honoring those in our community who are promoting diversity, inclusion, and equity in Southern Nevada. I'm honored to say I've received an award in the past for advocating on Channel 13 on behalf of all consumers in our diverse community. This year, there are 8 recipients. Even though crowds can't gather due to the COVID-19 pandemic, you can bet as soon as it's safe, this multicultural celebration will be in full force once again. For 13 Action News, I'm Trisha Keene.
The Comprehensive Cancer Center makes an effort to educate and help minority communities. These communities often get overlooked or don't have the proper resources. Today, the center is being honored.
Las Vegas Black Image Magazine are honoring the facility because you all have been there, especially for our minority community.
In October, the center hosted the Caravan for Mammogram event to raise awareness and support patients in the community.
It's important that we continue to reach out, especially to the minority population, because those are the populations that got affected most by COVID-19.
They urge people to get cancer screens. Diagnosis and survival rates for the Black community are disproportionately lower compared to other ethnic groups. They stress their medical buildings are safe to come into during this time.
You know, for me as a Black woman, it's essentially important that we are able to provide that education and awareness.
The center has been successful in retaining and hiring more employees during the pandemic and encourage people to reach out for opportunities. Bree Guy, 13 Action News. Local heroes making a national impact. In honor of Black History Month, Black Image Magazine is honoring local community members. And today, I introduce you to Tyrell Roll. 5 years ago, Tyrell Roll opened Studio 305, home of the Roll Project. Starting with 5 kids, the company has now grown into an elite dance studio with a wide range of classes offered to young children, teens, and adults. Growing up as one of the few African-American boys in ballet, he went on to work with Alvin Ailey and Circus Olay. He wanted to create a safe space where people wouldn't be judged by their size, race, or gender, using dance as a way out, or as their motto states, dance as an exit.
And with dance and with affirmations and with Studio 305, we provide all of that. So you not only feel better about yourself, but now you can teach others to feel better about themselves.
His elite dance competition group have been named world-class winners 2 years in a row. His students have rage, reaching above greater expectations.
Mr. T is my biggest inspiration right now. Because he started from the bottom and now we're here. That's a song.
Yeah, man. Now with 2 locations, you can try a free complimentary dance class if interested.
So proud of you and all the hard work that you and Modest Roberts have done, your mom.
We'll be right back.
You're watching a 13 Action News special, the Las Vegas Black Image Magazine Honors 2021. Sponsored by Finley Toyota. We are here for you.
For more of our Black History Month coverage, visit ktnv.com/Black History Month to check out Las Vegas Black Image Magazine, as well as see this year's virtual edition of the Tastes and Sounds of Soul. Go to LasVegasBlackImage.com.
In honor of Black History Month, Black Image Magazine is honoring Attorney General Aaron Ford for continuing to advocate for and helping the Black community.
I have been fighting for equality and addressing these issues and in terms of the relationship between law enforcement and the communities that they serve since I was in the state Senate and well before that. But in my job as Attorney General, I do believe that I have a unique responsibility to help bridge that gap.
Attorney General Aaron Ford has held his position since 2018. He's the first African American in Nevada history to be elected to a statewide constitutional office. Creators of Black Image Magazine, Charles and Kimberly Bailey Turow, say he was chosen for representing Las Vegas with honor and advocacy for Nevada's voting procedures during the 2020 election.
It says a lot that this news organization has been around for so long, and I'm honored to be the recipient of the award this year.
Ford was born in Dallas, Texas. After some run-ins with the law in the 1990s, the Attorney General made a change. Before practicing law, Ford served as a public school math teacher. He then became a clerk for several judges before joining a private practice in Las Vegas. Ford served as the majority leader in the Nevada State Senate.
In my job, I have to augment trust where it already exists. I have to restore it where it has been diminished, and I have to create it where it's never existed in the first place.
Attorney General Ford continues to make strides in the community and fight for fair treatment for all races, including fighting in favor of criminal justice reform on the state and federal levels.
I only get at most 8 years to do it from this particular position, and I intend to utilize every single second I have in this position to do exactly that.
Black, female, entrepreneur. Lauren Anderson is making big impacts across the country, and now her work has caught our attention.
I want to present you with this Las Vegas Black Image Magazine honor because of all the things you're doing here in the Valley.
Lauren Anderson is editor-in-chief of All In Recruiting. She has been in business locally since 2017, hiring top talent and diverse professionals across the country, specifically those in tech fields. Some of her big clients, Microsoft and Shark Ninja.
Place them before those folks so that they can obtain those jobs and then ultimately be able to contribute to generational wealth in their families, right? Which also helps us with some of the racial issues that we have and the disparities in wealth income.
Mechanical engineers, robotics engineers, brand marketing managers, and even directors of diversity. Anderson is finding them jobs locally and across the country. In the short time she's been in business, her company has hired for the Fortune 100.
We are now boosting the local economy and the community, fostering innovation as well as rewarding emerging genius by way of some programs and events that we're coming out with. The importance of what we're doing is a national agenda. And so what you'll see now is that companies, corporations across the country are committed now to inclusive workforces. Tech jobs are here to stay, they're growing, and they're going to be more. And we've got to prepare our communities and our young people.
Through workshops, Anderson is helping young people learn and prepare for their careers, working with them on their resumes and even headshots. But that's not all. Anderson is also involved with a national initiative through Microsoft called the Black and African American Partner Network. She also sits on the board for the Black Channel Partner Alliance and is recruiting Black-owned tech businesses that are looking to grow. Her advice for young aspiring entrepreneurs:
you have to have an outrageous optimism. That is in the face of fear, disappointment, letdown, isolation, right? Brokenness, which also comes with the journey that we don't talk about often. But all of these things are in the process to make us great.
Bree Guy, 13 Action News.
Hi, I'm Congresswoman Susie Lee, and I'd like to congratulate all of the Las Vegas Black Image Magazine honorees. In addition to the awards you'll be receiving today, I am happy to provide a certificate of congressional recognition to all of you. A special congratulations goes to Angela Brock of the Black Nurses Association for her efforts and the efforts of so many nurses during this pandemic. Also, congratulations to Fred James, Acting Executive Director of the Las Vegas Clark County Library District, for his leadership. To Belinda, Denise, and Simone Davis for your This Is How We View It community event. To Lauren Anderson of the All-In Recruiting and Talent Boutique. Melissa Puckett of the Comprehensive Cancer Center. Tiffany McNeely for your stellar community work. Tyrell Roll of 305 Studio, Attorney General Aaron Ford, and finally, congratulations to my dear friend and former Congresswoman Shelley Berkeley. Thank you again for celebrating such important local leaders and change makers. Please keep up the fantastic work, and if there's ever any way I can assist you, you know I'm just a phone call away.
Thank you for watching Las Vegas Black Image Honors 2021, a 13 Action News special. If you missed any part of this program, just click the back or menu button on your remote and scroll down on our menu to find KTMV digital exclusives. There you'll find this complete 30-minute special as well. Stay tuned for more 13 Action News after the break. And check us out anytime here on KTMV streaming Las Vegas News on your time.
Thanks for watching a 13 Action News special, the Las Vegas Black Image Magazine Honors 2021. Sponsored by Findlay Toyota. We are here for you.